Common misconceptions about GTA. Hello and welcome back to GTA Robot. There are plenty of myths and misconceptions about the GTA games out there. In this video, we will be taking a look at the most widely circulated myths about Grand Theft Auto. Stay tuned. Killing prostitutes, doing drugs, and being violent. The number one misconceptions with the Grand Theft Auto series is that it's entirely about being a criminal. This was the main questions on the minds of parents around the world when they discovered their kids beating up pedestrians in-game for the first time. Each game in the series plays out like a detailed, intricate crime movie, albeit in different settings. These aspects, which some consider to be influential on players, are all minor parts of the game's overarching stories. They typically serve to further the plot, not to satisfy a sick urge. There's not much to do online except grind. GTA Online is a completely different experience than the campaign. For one, there are other gamers around who can and will become involved in the player's games. Additionally, there are special missions, items, and even cars that players can only find through GTA Online. At a certain point, the main goal of GTA Online becomes amassing enough money to buy some higher ticket items. However, it's not the only thing to do. There are much more fun ways to spend one's time than worrying about how quickly one can buy a yacht. For example, participating in clients' jobs. The games are connected to each other. There are 4 main games in the Grand Theft Auto series that fans refer to: Vice City, San Andreas, GTA 4, and GTA 5. These are the only 3D games in the series, and each one has its own unique storyline following new characters and events. There are a lot of minor details present in these games that dedicated fans can find, which connects one location to another. However, characters, events, and stories from previous games almost never cross over. Grand Theft Auto 5 is the best of the series. One common sentiment heard among casual Grand Theft Auto fans is that GTA 5 is the best entry in the series. It is the most recent, and its time on the market must surely indicate how good a game it is, right? Unfortunately, most hardcore fans actually consider GTA 5 to be lower on that list. It's the lack of meta customizations like cheats, the lack of meaningful storytelling, and the reliance on visuals over gameplay that do it in. So, which is the best game according to them? Well, it's none other than San Andreas. Yep, GTA 5 is the best-selling game of all time. A common misconception about the Grand Theft Auto series is that the GTA 5 is the best-selling game ever made. It has been just released on a variety of consoles at this point over the last 10 years, and it's just as popular as ever still. However, GTA 5 is actually the second most popular game of all time, right behind Minecraft. It will take a while to topple that giant of a game, but once it happens, that game is going to be well worth the wait. Grand Theft Auto 1 and 2 aren't worth playing. Grand Theft Auto began as a top-down shooter with a very loose story and even loose driving mechanics. It's hard to even find the first 2 games in the series these days, as they were first released around the turn of the millennium. For those who can find them though, they are worth picking up. Players can definitely get a kick out of seeing how far the series has become. Its original concept was close to how games like Hotline Miami play, but without that modern touch. It's only worth playing for the open world. Grand Theft Auto games feature sprawling open worlds that only increase in size as the series goes on. It's incredibly easy to just jump into one of these games and mess around for a bit in the sandbox-like world. There's a lot more to do than that. However, fans who struggle to get invested in the story wouldn't say as much. In some ways, the open world can feel a bit empty, especially if the player doesn't have a goal or narrative to follow. There are no female protagonists in the series. One criticism of the Grand Theft Auto series is the lack of decent female characters, specifically female protagonists. In fact, there are whispers that Grand Theft Auto 5 will feature a woman lead, though of course, it's just a rumor at this point. However, the original Grand Theft Auto games, the 2D ones, actually did give the player the choice to play as a woman. This criticism of the series is still valid though, as there been a female lead since the early 2000s at this point. It's impossible to mod. One main misconception of Grand Theft Auto, especially of GTA 5, is that it's impossible to mod. As time goes on, more and more companies are making it difficult to mod their game. However, that's not necessarily the case with GTA 5. Modding used to be very easy for the game, in fact, until Rockstar decided to crack down on it. Now, mods are mostly available through customized servers, though players will need special permissions to access these private servers in the first place. That brings us to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next video.